So I think I'll explain the first point, which is I was reading this interview by Lloyd Blankfein, who's the ex-CEO of Goldman Sachs. He's a billionaire. And in the interview, he says, I'm not rich, I'm well-to-do. And he says he's a billionaire. Of course he's rich. Like, I don't think anyone would not say he's rich, right? But he doesn't think he's rich because his friends, his good friends, Jeff Bezos, David Geffen, et cetera, they're all like worth 10x him or 100x what he's worth, right? So relative to his social circle, he's not one of the richest people, right? And so he doesn't feel like rich. He can't go buy a $600 million super yacht like these other people can. So I think because of that, like, you can understand his psychology, like, oh, well, he doesn't feel rich. But you and I would look at that and say, oh, that's ridiculous. And I say, okay, well, let's play a little thought experiment out then. Okay. To be in the top 10% of wealth in the world, not the US, in the world, you need about, it's like $93,000. Let's just say 100,000 to make it easy. So if you have over $100,000 in net worth, you're in the top 10% of the world. Now, I would consider someone in the top 10% to be rich. I mean, that's just, the top 10%, you're an upper echelon of society, right? Of any distribution, right? As some sort of distribution. So like, you're in the top 10%, I would say you're rich, right? Now you're going to argue, but Nick, you can't compare me to people in the developing world. You can't compare me to some farmer in some third world country. That's not fair, right? Well, guess what Lloyd Blankfein's going to say when I say you're in the top 0.01% of the world? He's going to say, well, you can't compare me to those normal people, right? He's going to make the same argument about you and me that we're going to make about, people in the developing world. And so obviously his argument is more outlandish than ours is, but they're the same argument. They're fundamentally the same argument. The question is where's the, where we're cutting hairs here? Like, where's the line? Like, is it nationally, globally, locally? Like, how do you define rich, right? Like, I could say, so that's why I say that I think the solution to this is to say, like, okay, look at things on a more absolute scale. Don't look the more local you get, the less rich you'll feel. Like, for example, I live in Manhattan, right? I would say relative to Manhattan, I am not rich, but relative to the world, I am rich. And so I identify as a rich person, even though I may not be rich in my local environment. Like, on a global scale, I'm rich. And I don't mean that as like a brag, I'm bragging or anything like that. I think it's just a way for me to kind of stay grounded and realize, like, hey, if I don't think like this, I'm going to continually chase money to a point where I end up sacrificing a lot of other areas of my life, which I don't want to do. And I think it's about figuring out your enough point, wherever that is, where you're like, okay, hey, like, I'm doing well, I can live the life I want to live, and I don't have to worry about money in that sense. And I think getting to that point should be everyone's goal, not like, oh my gosh, I need to have more and more just so I can keep up with these other people. Like, it doesn't bother me if I have friends that have 10x my wealth or something like that, because I'll just hang out with them on their yacht or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like if you're friends with someone, you're friends with them because of whatever. And like, yes, like, that is what it is. So that's my take on it. Like, how do you get over that? Just like, think about yourself in a more absolute picture and stop being so local. Because if you look locally, it can be tougher. And you may be rich in your local environment, great, so, but if not, like, that's just kind of keep some perspective there.